Elon, out of the blue, almost a year late to the cycle, let's put this up there on the screen, tweets out, quote, "My pronouns are prosecute/Fauci." Replied this morning, quote, "Truth resonates." Again, totally unprompted. Also followed up
Such a boomer.
with this is a true top tier boomer meme. Let's go to the next one here from Lord of the Rings. Just one more lockdown, my king. Fauci whispering into the cursed king whose mind has been taken over. There actually is quite a bit there. Again, though, literally a year late to the cycle. You know, the funny thing is, though, is so many people also cannot resist taking the bait. Like, he's clearly trolling. And yet, the freak out on this Fauci tweet and also on criticizing Yoel Roth, which I'll get to in a little bit. I have never, it's like he broke people's brains almost secondary to the way Trump did. For example, let's put this up there. Dr. Peter Hotez, who some of you might have remembered from the Joe Rogan podcast. Dr. Fauci's done nothing wrong except served our nation. In the meantime, Mr. Musk should know 200,000 Americans needlessly lost their lives from COVID due to this kind of anti-science rhetoric and disinformation. It's not anti-science or disinformation to say you should prosecute Fauci. That's actually a misusing of saying this. It also says, Elon, I am asking you to take down this tweet. The sanctimony, man. Again, like, who are you? Criticize the tweet, whatever. Second, I found Yoel Roth, who, again, we will all remember, the former trust and safety head. He actually, after he quit Elon Musk's Twitter, did interviews where he defended taking down the Hunter Biden laptop story, defended banning the Babylon Bee, basically has been a complete frontman for the entire censorship regime. So there's like a back and forth going on. Elon tweets a segment of his thesis from his PhD, where, and look, some people are saying it's misquoted,
it is
out of
misquoted.
context. Okay,
this one,
all right, go ahead.
Okay, listen, go ahead and finish, and then I'll tell you my response.
People
because this one I'm going to defend Yoel Roth on, unfortunately.
So Yoel, in his his PhD thesis was, I guess, arguing in a broader context around when and how teenagers should appear on the gay app Grindr. Now, you can dispute, all right.
Okay, here's what it said. It says on Grindr, there are teenagers, and this is an issue because this is like, you know, Grindr is oftentimes about queer hookups.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that more effective than trying to ban them from the platform, which isn't going to work, what you need to do is figure out another way for them to be safely on the platform, which in my view, there is nothing wrong with saying. Somebody else also grabbed some old tweet of his where, again, he said, he linked to an article arguing that there is no instance in which high school students can like consent to sex with a teacher. And he basically like agreed with that, but they took it out of context and made it seem like he was questioning like, oh, maybe students can. So listen, Yoel Roth was a completely ideological actor here.
Yes.
I mean, that's the other thing that comes out in the Twitter files is like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of dysfunction, it's one-off decision-making. Most people in any organization don't really want to make decisions because they don't want to be on this hot seat. You had Vijay Agadi and Yoel Roth, who were ideological actors. They grabbed the reins. Jack was like an absentee boss, and they just did whatever the hell they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they came up with justifications after the fact. I mean, that's the thing with like the Trump stuff. They wanted to ban him. And they came up with justifications after the fact to make it so that they could justify it, even as they acknowledge, like, this is not how we're treating other world leaders. So I criticize Yoel Roth for that. I don't know why you're trying to make this like whole, like, pretend like he's some groomer weirdo, like on that stuff point. So I have an issue with that part of it. Criticize Yoel Roth. I just did it. He totally deserves that scrutiny for his ideological acting at Twitter. This stuff is like gross nonsense in my opinion.
So anyway, Bloomberg came out and put it up there on the screen. And I just found this remarkable for the way that this was phrased. This is from Dana Hull, who is actually the Bloomberg reporter covering Tesla and SpaceX in San Francisco. She says, quote, "I was not planning to work this Saturday, but Elon Musk's attacks on Yoel cannot be ignored." Almost as if it's like a strange personal crusade. And look, I mean, you can give your pushback, Krystal.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little weird what he wrote there. That said, I don't understand, and you know, you criticize it or you're defending it on the substance. There seems to be this deep personal connection between these Silicon Valley reporters, the tech press, and the former Twitter censors Vijaya Gadde and Yoel. And I found this out the hard way. Remember, back whenever I tweeted my criticism of Vijaya and Elon replied, and the Washington Post basically accused me of inciting racist attacks against her, emailing James, our former producer, at 2 a.m. in the morning and being like, why exactly did he tweet this? Like, what was he hoping to accomplish? All of this completely BS attacks. And I said it was off the record, so I won't go into the full specifics of my conversation with that reporter. But it was generally implied that there was a relationship between the reporter and between Vijaya Gadde. And I was like, oh, that's what this is all about.
Yes.
I pissed off you because you're her friend.
Right.
And it's like, you're attacking me and Elon because you're personal friends with this lady. Again, I won't give you the exact specifics, but that was the general contours of what happened whenever I was yelling at her for basically smearing me.
Listen, for this particular article, I'm going to say I don't have a problem with it because of the context that I just explained. But your point stands.
Yeah.
And no one should be surprised that the journalists covering the tech sector are cozy with some of the top officials in the tech sector, because that's the way all of journalism apparently works at this point. You know, it's about your access, it's about your coziness, it's about your, ability to get into these circles and network in them. That's how you get elevated in terms of your career prospects, not from holding them to account, but from like holding their hands. That's basically the way that you get ahead in these industries. You see the same thing with Sam Bankman-Fried, right? I mean, the way that, they felt like they were buddies with him and they got him and he was the like cool kid of crypto. And so none of the scrutiny that he deserved ultimately was there. And you also have to say, like, a lot of the reporters covering this beat, they are ideologically insane because they're journalists. They are ideologically in favor of censorship. So they don't see what Yoel Roth and Vijaya Gadde were doing as problematic at all. They see them as like heroes in this story. And so, of course, they wouldn't apply a critical lens because in their view, they're doing the right thing.
No, I think you're right. There's clearly like a weird high school element to this, but the reason it matters is these people are all very powerful. And look, I got my criticisms of the political press. Even they would be humiliated to act the way that some of these tech journalists are. I think it's crazy. Like watching Kara Swisher and some of these other Bloomberg, Washington Post lady who attacked me, like they're basically using their, here's what I would say. The Bloomberg White House team, I know they would never act this way with the Biden team. There is something uniquely bad about the Taylor Lorenzes, the Ben Collins, the Brandy, whatever her name is, over at NBC News, plus the tech journos, where they are so ideologically committed to the entire idea of censorship and misinformation and defending those people at all costs. I find it insane because they really don't realize how powerful that they actually are.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.